Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Football Premier Podcast. This is the FPL edition, and today we have the resident FPL superstars Arun Walson
Hello.
and Srijit Shankar, and I am Bala here,
Hello.
bringing up the tail end of our mini league. So let's see if this week gets any better for me.
Elima,
Starting with
Elima.
starting with the FPL picks and just quickly reviewing how our front runners are doing, right? So start with you, Srijit. How has your season been going on so far, and who has been bringing the points for you?
So season's been pretty good so far, except for a couple of weeks here and there. But it's been the weeks that I have done well, been consistently doing well. So the main players who have been giving me the points are Harry Kane, Son, and on the goalkeeping side, it's got lucky with Martinez before everyone else jumped on the bandwagon. I took him the moment he signed for Villa. Saiz and Jimenez are the consistent ones, but last week Saiz got dropped, so that is a little concerning for me.
Yeah, and I think to a fair degree, with the shortened season that you're seeing and the quick turnaround between games, you'll see that more and more with almost all the teams, not just with Wolves, I guess. So there will be a fair bit of rotation. Uh, so with that, right, a segue to Wilson then. So do you think that earlier seasons we used to have this strategy of picking a best 11 and then just putting fodder in the bench? Does that no longer work with this sort of uncertainty that we have in this season, especially the top sides who also have Europe to play for? Do you think we have to always have a balanced 15-member squad rather than just having a top heavy 11 and just put bench fodder for the other positions? How do you approach this sort of uncertainty?
Yeah, I mean, having a heavy bench is always a problem now, because I was struggling with the same thing because last week my bench had 17 points, and then this week I also have say 15 points combined, I think, and I don't know. I don't know the exact solution for it, but it can be tricky. Sometimes when you have Man City playing that crazy rotation, like last week, Foden was the most player in form for them, and he didn't start. So and then that caused a lot of problems for people like me. And I'm playing actually. Probably I'm the only one without any Liverpool players. So I haven't picked any Liverpool player yet. So in that case, I need to have some kind of bench power as well. So
Right. Okay. So moving on to the, probably misfires that we can think of, right? So who are the players on your team that you think are not pulling their weight that you're looking to replace in the upcoming weekend? Srijit, start with you.
So really, Zaha is someone I got in last week. For the injured James Rodriguez. That is something that did not work out, but it's too early. I think he has a lot of good fixtures coming up, so I'm gonna kind of go with him. He's not someone that I like from a fantasy perspective, but I think at the 7 million mark, the 6 million mark don't have too many good midfield options. I know there is Podence, Neto, but they all are rotation risks. So from that perspective, I think I'll continue with Grealish and Zaha. The thing that I'm worried about is I have Regulion and I have Son and I have Kane. Okay, and after game week 9, I think they have tough fixtures. So I am kind of looking at bringing in City players and bring in a cheap striker round about the game week 9, game week 10. That's where I'm kind of stuck. I know, do I get a Bamford or do I get a Wilson or do I get Antonio? There is injury risk to him, so that's where I am in this week. So probably this I will go unchanged and kind of look at it from next week after the international break.
Right. So I think to the point, right, Zaha, I think it's a good call to keep him on because his next few fixtures, let me just call them out for you. Leeds United, they're going to be always open to the counter. Burnley struggling endlessly this season. Newcastle, you can't score against them, and West Brom. So I think it's a pretty solid pick to have in your squad at 7 point whatever that he costs. So I would not tank him if I were you. But then don't take my words because I'm sitting at 15th in the league. So you might want to do exactly what I tell you not to do. So moving on to you, Walson. Who are your heavy hitters that you are, on the hot seat for you, whom you might chuck with one more bad game week?
Martinez probably. I need to change my goalkeeper.
Mhm.
Not giving any returns that normally, like last year, Henderson or Pope, who was consistently giving us like 6 points or more than sometimes double-digit points and all that.
Mhm.
So that is completely missing. അല്ലേ?
Yeah.
ഇപ്രാവശ്യം പിന്നുള്ളത് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ I've been giving target a lot of chances. Like I gave him 3 weeks, I think, and I'm not getting any reaps out of it. So അത് മാറ്റി പിന്നെ ലാസ്റ്റ് വീക്ക് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഗ്രീലിഷിന് I don't remember who I replaced, but that was even though they lost, that was a big grab, 15 points.
Yeah.
So
That to last 10 minutes.
Yeah, last 10 minutes. And
Right.
this week was disaster. Probably without, I had 3 Aston Villa players, Martinez, Target, and this, and I thought that game would have been like nothing. And those 2 players, the Martinez and Target, was 0, both. So this was the only relief.
For me, actually, I took a wild punt based on trying to do a differential to catch up, and I had placed my bet on, again, you shouldn't laugh, on Telles, who has not yet played in the league for me. So right now with his COVID exit, I think I have to look to replace him post haste. That's my big priority for this week. Actually, fingers are almost itching to go for the wild card, but the head says, wait until the international break, because that's going to always throw a lot of spanner into the works, right? You could have players getting injured in the break, and a lot of things can go very different between now and then. So let me see. So I have to really keep the gap close between you guys, and at the same time, my team is starting to look more and more like a 1-week-old Srijit Shankar team. So I have to avoid that as well. So I need to have the differences if I want to close the gap. Otherwise, I just keep the gap. So that's where I am at right now. So
it's early days, right, Bala?
Yeah, it is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's just week 7 out of 38. So a lot can go wrong between now and the end.
Right.
We have 30 more weeks. Yeah.
Yep. So that's a long way to go. Finally, any tips, any differential picks that you might think of, low-owned players that people might want to bring in to help, get them moving up on their mini leagues? Arun, will go with you.
Yeah, I don't know. This week, probably, I was thinking of having Chelsea and or concentrating more on Chelsea and Spurs, and probably those 2 games might be the ones to look out for. But I haven't checked completely the fixtures. Do you see anything other than that?
I think Chelsea is a good shout. Ziyech is rounding into form. I think Pulisic is an injury scare again. So I think between Pulisic and Ziyech looks more locked in. But I think, as we were chatting in our groups, looks like Frank Lampard might be this year's Pep Guardiola with his rotation. So you never know who's going to line up. So
he has too many stars there.
Yeah.
And also I just now saw that West Ham is playing Fulham. So West Ham is playing really good. That is also a kind of fixture that we need to look at. And one bad thing is that Ings is injured. So Southampton might struggle. But they are playing Newcastle. But we have Ward-Prowse and
Che Adams.
Very good form. Yeah, very good form.
So Che Adams is probably a better pick because he's a budget forward as well. I do not know how their fixtures look after this, but If you are not like I am someone who this season at least I am going the cheaper options in defense, and I'm going all out on midfield and attack. But if you are someone who likes defensive points, like Wilson mentioned, I think you should get on the Ben Chilwell train. I think he is consistent and he will give you the points. The other thing, since you mentioned Wilson, I think Mendy is a good option from a goalkeeper perspective. If you're looking for points, he is 5 million. I think he's looked solid. But again, I'm not going to change my goalkeeper unless it's a wild card. For now, I'm okay to get 3 points a week as long as I can use the additional cash to get explosive returns. So explosive returns on the attack side, like a 12 point, 13 point return. One of my midfield or one of my forward options giving me that every week. So that is where I am this season. So let's see. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah, and Walter, to your point about West Ham playing well, I think a couple of dark horse picks you could look for attacking returns. Maybe Aaron Cresswell, because I think he's on dead ball. His potential is there. Maybe even he gets a bonus point here and there. So Cresswell is looking good. And at the same time, for a budget midfield option who might be a differential pick, I would go with Pablo Fornals. He has been looking really good. And even though they are, they might potentially be missing out on Antonio, I think they'll keep ticking over and they look good. They have gone over the hard part of their schedule, and it's probably easier now. But then we don't know if we're going to get David, Moyes or COVID Moyes. So it depends on which version we get. So if it is COVID Moyes, they're in good shape. If it is David Moyes, I don't know what's going to happen to them. So that's my differential pick for this week. Okay.
This week, there is also might be possibility of clean sheet matches. Probably Leicester Wolves can be really interesting. So that can both plays very attacking football right now, but defensive wise also I feel both team is pretty solid.
Right.
So might be a stalemate there. I'm not sure yet, but. Yeah, and the Leeds is playing Crystal Palace. I think I sense Palace is going to struggle there.
Yeah, I think, but Palace has been solid defensively because they commit all their men to the back, and it's only Zaha, Schlupp, and Townsend who do any sort of forward forays, right? So I think they might be hitting them on the counter. And don't sleep on Zaha for one more fact, because I think Milivojevic is on suspension, so Zaha will be on penalties. So
yes,
so that makes a lot more sense
red
to me.
card kind of helped that way.
Right. So, so I think that's going to be another. I'm really hoping that they nick a goal here and there, because I do have Zaha on my team. So and all the Palace goals seems to be coming through Zaha. So I think I'm counting on them at least getting a goal, even if they don't get a win.
What about Vardy? Any guys you are bringing in Vardy, or he's being so consistent, and most of us have been ignoring him. I think in our whole league, I think only one or two guys have him.
Yeah. I had him till I had to dump him to get stronger mid and forward options. The week I removed him, he scored that they won that they scored 4 goals, right? He scored a hat trick. So that way I've been really lucky. So, but after that, I think he was not available for the next week. So I think it's a good time to bring him in, and probably I will, if I have to bring him in, I have to get rid of Kane or Jimenez. I cannot have my front 3 are DCL, Kane, and Jimenez. I cannot get rid of all 3 Jimenez DCL and get Vardy, because that I don't have that much budget left. So that is probably I have to get rid of either Jimenez or Kane to get. That's where I'm a little torn, because Kane has been really good this season for me so far.
I think Kane is somewhere at a stage where you just forget about him. He should be there. It's a must-have in.
Kane is the new Salah now. Huh? Kane is the new Salah for this season. Yes.
Yeah, but
yes, I think so too.
Looking at the argument in terms of fixtures, right? So I think after game week 9, the Tottenham Hotspur's fixtures turned difficult. So maybe that might be a right time for you to just plug and play, remove Kane and bring in Vardy instead. So it's almost like a straight swap with some money to spare for you to put elsewhere into your squad. Let me put that thought into your head so that you do that change and I can keep Kane on my team. So I think we just lost.
No, I'm back.
That
I'm
is
back. So I went to see my bank how much I have. So I can actually right now do Jimenez to Vardy. The problem with Jimenez and DCL is they give you consistent returns, but they are not explosive. So they will give you 6 points, 8 points every week, but you will never get a 15 point or again. Again, I hope
week
I'm
2
proven wrong.
DCL would like to disagree very strongly.
Yeah, week 2 I didn't have him, so.
Yeah. So I think DCL is going to be explosive again because week after next, Richarlison is back and James Rodriguez should be back into full fitness as well. So I think it'll be business as usual once Richarlison and James are back in full flow. So I think DCL is still going to get some of those explosive
No, I'm going to
returns.
keep him because I
of
got
course.
him cheap. The price rise has been amazing, so I'm going to keep him. So there's no. I'm going to get off the Spurs train because I have 3 of them. So I'm going to I'm going to keep only one after week 9, and I think that is where I will get. I'm itching on getting a Sterling. I don't know which Man City player to get, KDB or Sterling or whom. I really don't know.
KDB is getting them back in form. In Champions League yesterday there was 2 assists, and then the previous game also 2 assists. So I think he is coming back. So, but nobody talks anything about it until he scores a goal and 3 assists and something comes. Nobody has him.
Right. So I think that's about the time we have for this week. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Do follow us along on this channel. We have a mini league. The link is down in the description. And do join us and pit yourself against these star fantasy players that we have. And let's see how you do. And we have an assured prize for the finisher at the end of the season. So look forward to seeing you there. Join us. Like, share, and subscribe this content. Do pass the message along. And thanks for joining us today.